Good morning, students. In the previous class, you learnt about the nucleus. There are some organisms like the bacteria in which the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined. That is due to the absence of a nuclear membrane. Okay, here you can see there is no nuclear membrane. So such an undefined nuclear region which contain only the nucleic acid, it contains only the nucleic acid, is called a nucleoid. You can see here this is not properly defined. You can see in the figure here it is not properly defined. This is the nuclear region, and this nuclear region, it contains all these that you can see. These are all the nucleic acids, and this is called as the nucleoid. So such organism whose cell lack a nuclear membrane, okay, that means you can see there is no membrane, there is no nuclear membrane. In the previous video I told you that a nucleus has got a nuclear membrane, okay, but here there is no nuclear membrane. So these kind of organism whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called as prokaryotes. Okay, so this is a prokaryotic cell. So the organisms whose cell lack a nuclear membrane, they are called as the prokaryotes. So prokaryotes, pro means primitive, okay, very old ones, the oldest ones, primitive, and karyot means karyot or karyon means the nucleus. So these are organisms are the prokaryotes. That means the very primitive organisms, okay, containing the nucleus. And these are the prokaryotic cells, and the organisms which have cells with nuclear membrane are called as the eukaryotes. Okay, so in the previous video I explained about the nucleus, so that is about the eukaryotes. So all the organisms, that is the plant cells, the animal cells, all animals, we all are eukaryotes. Okay, and bacteria is a prokaryotic. So prokaryotic cell, not only do they lack the nuclear region, they also lack many of the other cytoplasmic organelles. Okay, inside the cytoplasm they do not have other organelles also. And the chlorophyll in this photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria is associated with membranous vesicles. Membranous vesicles means bag-like structure. So they lack other cell organelles. Okay, so this is a prokaryotic cell. Now we will study about the eukaryotic cell. So before studying about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, we will see what is the difference between a prokaryote and the eukaryotic cell. Okay, prokaryotic cell, the size of a prokaryotic cell is generally smaller in size as compared to the eukaryotic cell, that is 1 to 10 micrometer. These are micrometer, okay, and these are generally large, that is 5 to 100 micrometer. Then just now I told you in a prokaryotic cell the nuclear region is not well defined. Okay, it is not well defined. And what it is called, what is it called as? This is known as a nucleoid. Just now I told you, na, the nuclear membrane is not well developed and it is called as a nucleoid. Whereas in eukaryotic cell, the nuclear region is well defined. It is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. A prokaryotic cell has only one chromosome, whereas a eukaryotic cell has more than one chromosome. And prokaryotic cells, membrane bound cell organelles are absent, whereas in a eukaryotic cell it contains all the membrane bound cell organelles. That means all the organelles which are present in a eukaryotic cell, they all are membrane bound. Membrane bound means they are enclosed by a membrane. Okay, if you look at this figure, this is an animal cell. Okay, you will see that all of these are enclosed in a membrane. See, you can see here, this is an endoplasmic reticulum. It has got double membrane. This is a nucleus. Nucleus also has got a double membrane. So a eukaryotic cell has got all the organelles are membrane bound organelles. Clear? Now we move on to the cell organelles. See, every cell has got a membrane around it. All the cells, whether it is an animal cell or a plant cell, has got membrane around it too. So that what is the reason that these have got membranes? The reason is that so that it can keep the content separate from the external environment. External environment से ये separate रहेगा अगर membrane. Just now I told you nucleus has got a nuclear membrane so that it does not allow these substances do not get mixed with other substances. So that is the reason that all the organelles have got membrane bound structures. So and they also perform various kinds of function. So these membranes, they also keep separate from each other. Okay, they all remain separate from each other. So this is the main characteristic of a eukaryotic cell that makes it different from a prokaryotic cell. Just now I told you that in a prokaryotic cell, here in the figure also you can see, in a prokaryotic cell there are no proper membrane bound organelles. Okay, it has got a cell wall and a plasma membrane, but inside there are organelles, but there are no membranes found in that. So now here in this eukaryotic cell, you will be able to see various kind of cell organelles. Okay, one of the most important cell organelle I explained about it in the previous video, that was the nucleus. The nucleus is the brain of the cell. But along with the nucleus, it has got other cell organelles also, like it has got endoplasmic reticulum, then they have got lysosomes, mitochondria, the Golgi apparatus, and these are all very, very important. All these cell organelles are very, very important for a particular cell to perform. So we will study about these cell organelles one by one in the next class. Clear, children? I hope till here it is clear to you. Please read the chapter properly and go through my video of nucleus so that you will be able to understand properly the difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Thank you, children.